Coming to you live from the Ray Horseman Studio in North Hollywood, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, words, words, words. Linguist Dr. David Goldstein, Associate Professor in UCLA's Linguistics Department, is here to answer our questions about words. When did human beings first begin to speak? What accent did cavemen have? For that matter, why do accents exist at all? We'll get the authoritative word on these questions. Plus, an update on Poundstone pussy pillows. And what toys will be the hot sellers this Christmas? Perhaps the purchase of a Poundstone pussy pillow promises perfect pleasure for your pet. I'm Adam Felber, the man who tries to keep this show's topical syntax lined up for conversational clarity and order. And now, please welcome the woman who fractures every syntax bone in this podcast, Paula Poundstone!
Hey! Well, thank you so much.
Oh, man. Thank you, Paula. And thank you to tonight's house band returning champion, fiddle player Longo Chu.
Hey! Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Great to have you. So, Paula, how is your line of Poundstone pussy pillows going?
Well, you know, the first night that we sold them, they flew off, not the shelf, because there's no shelf, they flew off the table. Because on one side, there's a cat joke.
Yeah.
That I've handwritten previously.
Okay.
And then on the other side, I can autograph it.
I
custom autograph it to people's cats.
Okay.
And
these are catnip-filled pillows.
Yes. And they have a grommet on them so that you could tie a string to it and tug it around the house.
Now, are you
for the
indeed
cat to-
calling them Poundstone's pussy pillows at the concerts and stuff?
I haven't yet, but I can see that I'm
between
on.
me and Tony Anita Hall, that's become the de facto name of it. Our social media presence is full of it. And
I did an interview this morning with an NPR station in Florida, I think it was, and the lady asked me something, and I mentioned that we have these cat toys, and that I said my partner Adam Felber, who's on every show, I said calls them Poundstone pussy pillows, and we talked for a while, and then she said, I'm going to have to get permission from NPR. And that's weird because people call cats pussies.
they do.
Yeah.
Or pussy cats, really.
Yeah, I don't see why.
I don't see why either.
I
just love that something that I said sort of, tongue-in-cheek, offhand during the first time that you talked about this on the podcast a couple weeks ago has now become the more or less semi-official name of that product.
Yeah. Well, when I first met Adam, a lot of listeners don't know this, but my name was Clara Budget. And,
Clara Budget. That's
and
right.
Adam,
I have vague memory of
yeah,
this.
and Adam referred to me as Paula Poundstone. And
It just kinda stuck.
It did. It
Yeah.
stuck. And then people say Paula Poundstone. I go, what? And that's how it happened.
My
so
gift for nomenclature continues.
So they flew off and Bonnie, Captain Crinkle and I argue about this sort of thing all the time because she tends to take a small amount of data points and draw a lot of conclusions
That is
from
an
it.
understatement almost.
Yeah.
I would say she takes one data point and answers everything.
Well, and I tried to do that here because we sold out. We had 20 on the first night. I forget what town I was in. But I sold out of them before I was done with that night's meet and greet where I sell things.
So based on that data point, Bonnie went ahead
and not just Bonnie,
and
me.
invested $1.5 million in the Poundstone Pussy Pillow
No,
Corporation.
it was pretty much me. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it.
This is
I
our
said,
ticket
you
to
know
the big
what?
time.
Podcast no more. I got it. Poundstone Pussy Pillows. I'm hooking my
and so
my
how did
wagon.
it go at the subsequent gigs?
Well, not as well. It's sales slowed down a little bit.
Well, I don't think we really advertised them well on the show last week. Maybe we should. We're talking about them up top now. I'm sure your next show there's hundreds.
They're gonna fly off the shelves.
And I just want to point out to people. People have been writing in and asking where they can get one. At the moment, it's only available at live Paula Poundstone events. But the website, we're going to sell it through the website.
We are going to sell them through the website
any day now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, part of the problem with that is my assistant Wendell.
Yeah.
Who Wendell works for me, but he doesn't really know that, and so
is Wendell a cat?
No, Wendell's
Because
Wendell's
that behavior does sound kind of feline.
Wendell's my beloved assistant, and he's great.
Okay.
And he's done a wonderful job.
I love him.
But he will just put the kibosh on things sometimes.
Right.
He's like, we're not selling those over the websites.
He doesn't get to say that, does he know this?
He doesn't, but he does. So what I decided is that I would maybe let a little bit of time go by before I broach the subject again because, in fairness,
This doesn't sound like good businesswoman practices right here.
no,
Paula.
I'm not very good at this sort of
I'm
thing.
worried that I'll
Well,
offend my assistant, so I'm not going to ask him to make more of the product.
he's so good, and you don't want to shove him over the. But in fairness,
do wanna-
he's worked a lot at the design.
Okay.
Okay, like for example, now I made the original design. They're just rectangle shape. But what we didn't know in the beginning is, did you put the seam just along the outside, just one seam, or did you turn it?
So he's sewing these suckers closed.
Yeah, he's sewing them. We have a factory. Henry Ford has set up something in my son's old bedroom.
That's nice.
And poor Wendell, we're trying to get the time it takes to make each one down, because otherwise you got to charge like $50 a pussy pillow,
Right.
In order to make a profit, right? So
If they had a tag on them that said Poundstone's Pussy Pillows, they'd sell even faster.
yeah, I
See if
might
Wendell can
mention
get a
that to
tag
Wendell.
involved. Yeah.
I'll see if he can do that.
Yeah.
I'll put in a call to him. So all right, so one of the things is, he figured out that if you sew the seams in it, right, and you get now you need to put the catnip in, but you don't want to take it off the sewing machine because it's too hard to put it back on. So he's trying to figure out a way to get the catnip in there without taking the thing off. So
A conveyor belt of some sort, I'm sure.
He had like a plastic tube that he
was
was going
blowing
to
it in?
blow it in.
Yeah.
And he's got like black lung and stuff. He's having a hard
nip lung.
time.
They call it nip lung.
Yeah, he's had nip lung. And then he came up with another
Gets you
idea
so high, though.
entirely,
Yeah.
which is, so I come home yesterday and he's working on it, and he's taken a thing of stick deodorant, and he's taken the deodorant out and then scrubbed it with baking soda because, of course, the deodorant has a smell, and he
Right,
doesn't
cats
want
wouldn't be necessarily into it.
Precisely. So then he puts the catnip inside the empty stick deodorant dispenser.
Okay.
Because there's a bar at the bottom that slides up and pushes
He pushes it up, yeah.
it up. And so he's using that. And then he decided it's not long enough. So now he asked Tony Hull to go to Walmart and get a 25% more
Bigger
container.
deodorant.
Yeah. But this is the sort of thing. And then he'll do
It
stuff.
really sounds super scattershot.
No, it's not scattershot at all. I
sounds
am
like
the
he's just-
best guy.
No,
on
I
this
know
job.
Wendell. It really sounds like he's just sort of like, well, I'm sure there's a long history of people stuffing shit into toys and sewing them closed, but I'm not looking into that. I'm going to go buy some deodorant
Yeah. No, he's
let
break-
the chips fall where they may.
He's breaking his own trail. But
Yeah,
the other
absolutely.
thing, okay, but this,
Which is not always what you want in business.
We have 13 cats, So the
Yeah.
other thing is he's put down these demo models on the living room floor, and he's concerned that the catnip is going to get stale. And so he's like, we're not selling it if the catnip gets stale. We're just not doing it. And so
He doesn't even particularly like cats, does he?
no, he loves cats. But
Okay.
so we put these pussy pillows down on the floor, and then every time he walks through a living room, he goes, "They're not rubbing on it. They're not rubbing on
Well,
it."
you got to tell them that cats, like, once they've had like 10 minutes of nip, they're done for a while.
Yeah.
For like hours.
Yeah. Well, he really wants to create addicts.
And I love that what has happened. All this has happened because the executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, Doug Berman, thought it'd be an awesome idea to send you like a garage full of catnip.
He
as a
sent me
present.
35 pounds of catnip
Yeah.
as a gift.
Yeah.
And and then I was like, well, what am I going to do with 35 pounds? And that's when Poundstone Industries went into production.
Of Poundstone Pussy Pillows.
Yeah.
Now,
and by the
Paula-
way, guys, Christmas is coming up.
Sure is. Think about it, although don't go to our website because we don't know how to do that yet. Anyway, speaking of toys, sitting in front of us is what forecasters think will be this year's hottest Christmas toy.
I'm thinking it's going to be Poundstone Pussy Pillows, but the second
second-
hottest Christmas toy.
And Christmas is rapidly approaching.
Yes.
It's called the Skyrocket Blume Doll. They start out looking like a potted plant, and kids use a little cute watering can to make the doll spring out of the dirt. And because we're such a visually oriented audio podcast, we're going to do that right here.
Yeah, we're going to make the doll. All right, so
I'm
it's a
gonna
pink plastic
Flower
plant pot.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to pull off the top of it right
Adam's
now.
pulling off the top of it.
Okay, and
It's
now-
like a foil thing that would be on the top of a
Yeah,
Pringles.
and then it looks like there's another thing here. I guess I have to pull this off too, right?
I don't know.
Well, I'm flipping it up because why
He's
the
flipping
hell
up
not?
something.
And
There's-
now I'm going to water it.
There's
See,
another
I take this,
flap.
I take this adorable watering can.
All right, so now there's a little pink plastic watering can that Tony Anita Hull has filled with water.
And I see I'm
Now,
watering it.
Adam is watering the top of what appears to be a plastic thing, is it not?
It does. It
Oh,
does.
there it is. There it is.
It's growing.
My
Oh my God.
gosh.
Oh my God.
There's
It's like
something-
the miracle of life.
It's a pink doll, I guess,
you know,
that's
and
coming
I
up.
watched my two kids be born, and it's not totally unlike that.
It broke its way through this
Paula, do you
little
have any more
covering.
water? I'm not convinced this is
Well, you could try that. All right, now we're putting.
now we're putting
now we're putting
you would
water
call too
on
much
it.
water on it. Well, this doesn't
I
work.
think that's a breached. I think that's
breech birth?
That's a breached.
Breech birth? It could be a breech.
Yeah.
birth.
All right. So it looks a little bit like a pink version of the weird sculpture that the star of Close Encounters of the Third Kind kept making.
Yes. You know
Right?
what? It is still blooming. Let's let it bloom.
It looks like pink Play-Doh has come up through this
Well, the
round
hair,
plastic
that's the
piece.
hair of the doll. It's made of
Oh.
slow-rise foam, and when you water the plant, it looks as if your doll is blooming from the pot. They cost less than $10.
Well, I can't see why.
Yeah, how much do pussy pillows cost?
12.
All right. Now, there are 22 different Blume dolls, and as we know, an infinite number of possible pussy pillows. And once you collect a couple, you can take the foam hair off and change it out with your other Blume dolls. After the toy blooms, you can open up the pot and find a little mini friend and some stickers to decorate with.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
You can see a child having hours and hours of fun with such a thing.
Yeah. Well, I assume it's gonna keep blooming during the course of this show. Because if not, this is a terrible toy. We're gonna let Tony tend the doll while we continue to talk.
Yeah.
Tony, see if you can make that suck less.
Boy, yeah. Seems
Tony,
like
keep it away from the llama.
seems like oh my God! Anthony brought a llama. All right, that's just weird. What is it with him?
Anthony Alfaro has brought
Nicest
in
guy in the world, but apparently it feels the need to. He brings in. We don't even know where he gets them.
Yeah, well, to be fair, usually they're wild animals, and this, I believe, a llama is a domesticated animal, so that's a step forward. At least it's
Are
legal.
they supposed to spit? Because it just spit on me.
I don't know.
Or is that the Blume
Anthony,
Doll?
what's going on? And should the llama be eating the foam Blume doll?
Here he comes.
Come on over,
Anthony,
Anthony.
should the doll? Should he
guys.
eat the doll foam?
Well, no animal should ever eat plastic foam.
Oh,
Now,
Yeah.
okay.
that's too darn
Yeah,
bad.
so what
given
do
the
they use?
world
What
we
do
live in.
llamas eat?
Well, this one would be a free roaming llama. So
Okay.
it's
not in this studio
Yeah.
a free roaming
Yeah,
llama.
that's no wonder
it's
it
not
looks
in a
angry.
cage right now.
It's not in a cage.
free roaming.
Touche.
It's it's free roaming here in this teeny tiny studio.
Right.
Has it been used as a beast of burden? This particular one?
No, this one's he's had a pretty good life. It's been pretty good for him. But to answer your question, they eat primarily like grass, lichens, and shrubs, like native shrubs from where they're
good
from.
to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
They're a domesticated animal, are they not, Anthony?
Yes,
Okay.
especially in South America, where they're like a camelid. So
Where'd you get it, Anthony?
they're used as meat and pack animals.
This is what I'm
Anthony,
talking
I
about.
just want to remind you of one thing. The woman who got into the lion's cage the other day
Yeah.
and did the weird dance in front of it,
Yeah.
she got in trouble.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't,
You can't just go taking these
You can't go
things.
take animals if you're taking them.
Yeah, we
I'm
had
not
a.
dancing with them.
That's true. He's not. Anything else we need to know about
I
this
don't
animal?
think
I
that
mean, there's
was
a
the
lot you should know
crime.
about them. They can carry up 50 to 75 pounds, up to 20 miles. Their stomachs have 3 compartments in them.
Oh.
My stomach has 3 compartments.
Those aren't compartments.
A cow has 4. So
Oh, I thought the rolls were
No,
compartments.
that's just rolls.
Oh, my mistake.
yeah, and then they're pack animals for Andean cultures since like pre-Columbian era.
Andean. Oh, so they're big in Ecuador,
Yes.
where we are a very famous podcast. So Ecuador, if you're listening,
Yeah.
we're harboring a llama.
Yeah, we have a llama.
Yeah.
Andean. By Andean, you mean like Andy Williams,
No, the Andes Mountains.
Yes.
Andy Reddick?
No,
No.
the Andes Mountains.
Andy Reddick, who's a big competitor with Roger Federer, who has a store right over on the corner here.
Okay, there's a lot wrong with that statement. I'm going to start with Andy Roddick having retired from tennis.
Yeah.
And I'm going to
eventually they
I'm going to
all
point out that the
retire.
store on the corner is barely a store, and it's not called Federer's. It's called Feder.
Yeah.
And it's an appliance store unaffiliated with reigning Swiss tennis champion Roger Federer.
No, listen to me. Roger Federer cannot, as Andy Reddick figured out.
Roddick.
He figured out you can't play tennis forever.
Yes.
Right?
No.
Okay. So Roger Federer bought this store
Right.
on
He
the corner.
didn't.
He did. And it's an
He
appliance
could run
store.
an appliance store on Miranda Street in North Hollywood until the heat death of the universe and not earn as much money as he earns in a single tennis tournament.
But what you don't know, and I do,
No, you don't.
about Roger Federer is he has a little spending Jones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See these dolls that are like $10? He
Yeah.
bought a shitload of them.
And they don't even work. All right, is there anything else we need to know about the alpaca, Anthony?
Are they
It's not an
supposed to
alpaca, it's
eat-
a llama.
Oh, it's a llama.
They're different animals.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, you don't know everything.
I don't
You
claim to
don't
know everything.
You don't know everything. Yeah.
I
you know
just
what?
claim to know
You
more
know
than
what?
you about everything.
The phone's ringing. Answer the phone.
The phone? I don't want to get the phone, Paula. I don't want to get the phone.
No, answer the phone.
Can't we just let it ring?
No, that's rude. Just answer the phone. They're going to know you're there.
Hello?
Yeah.
Adam, it's Mac and Cheese LaPierre. You know, Adam, you don't know everything.
I don't claim to know
You
everything,
don't know
Mac.
Let me ask you something, Adam. Do you visit Wisconsin?
I've been to Wisconsin, Mac.
There's so many places where you could learn so much.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
been to Wisconsin?
I've been to Wisconsin, Mac.
How many times have you been to Wisconsin?
I've been to Wisconsin like 2 or 3 times,
2 or
Mac.
3 times. So you haven't seen the whole state of Wisconsin, have you?
Mac, why are you calling?
There's Appleton, there's La Crosse, there's Eau Claire, there's Kenosha, Wisconsin Dell,
Yeah, I gotta-
Racine, Oshkosh,
Yeah, okay.
Sansar,
Yeah,
Waukesha,
Mac, there's a lot of
Waukesha,
towns in Wisconsin,
Madison,
Mac.
Fond du
Mac!
Lac. Yes.
You don't got to name everything in Wisconsin. I understand that it's a big state.
You know, Fond du Lac, Adam, has one of the top aqua parks. Have you gone there?
What's an aqua park, Mac?
It's a water, you know, you swim with the...
It's a water- it's a water
Have
amusement
you gone
park?
There? Have you gone there?
No, but I've been to water amusement parks.
Yeah, you've been to water parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Mac, I still don't understand how you're calling a podcast that is not, in fact, a live show.
Let me ask you something, Adam.
Yeah,
Do
you're
you walk
avoiding
with
that
the
question.
Lord?
I don't, Mac. I don't. Mac,
You're not right about everything.
I
You know,
gotta
you
go.
got the
Mac-
alpaca,
Mac, I gotta go.
llama
Mac, we
thing
gotta go.
entirely wrong.
Mac, thank you very much for calling.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
how
it was-
you're doing it.
It was good talking to you. It was good talking to you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you want to come to Wisconsin, Adam, you got a place to stay. We got a cat for you.
Mac, goodbye.
Bye.
I don't want your cat.
We got a cat for you. You can sleep on the cat any night you want.
Oh, my God. All right. Okay, well, that was great hearing from Mac, wasn't it, Paula?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
change the subject from Mac as quickly as possible, okay?
Yeah. Mac is really a supporter of yours.
I think he's more of a supporter of yours, and
no,
I
he
don't.
just notices that you get a lot of things wrong.
I didn't
That's
get it.
all.
I've gotten very little wrong. But in any case, here's something you're trying to get right. You're trying to get our vocabulary words.
Oh my gosh!
We do
I
a
have
new vocabulary
this
word
week.
every week.
Adam, I have a vocabulary word this week. It's opprobrium,
Opprobrium.
which is a noun that
Yeah.
means disgrace or reproach arising from conduct considered shameful. Here, I'll use it in a sentence.
Go ahead.
The current Republican Congress will soon be covered in opprobrium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're doing things that are that at least a lot of people will find shameful, and they will be
It is.
opprobrium
Yeah.
will be heaped upon them.
Yeah, I think history is going to be
Now, I would
chock-a-block
think
with
you would have
opprobrium.
known the word opprobrium.
No.
Didn't
No.
know it at all.
No, I look words up and they don't stick in my head. So
Well,
I may have
that's a
learned it
problem.
at one, which is why I've been trying to come up with, a little song
A vocabulary song.
A vocabulary song, because usually music helps.
And
the
I think what we've
memory.
learned over the last couple of weeks is that your songwriting skills are what scientists call limited.
Yeah.
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 And so we asked our listeners if they would be willing to maybe.
Answer the phone, Adam. The phone's ringing. Answer the phone.
Are you sure? I don't think that's the phone. I think we'll just go straight to
No,
voicemail with that
that's
one.
the phone. Go ahead and get
really,
the phone.
Paula?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, it's me, Mike Bum Bum Bonifant. You were right, man. Her fucking songwriting skills are limited. You're right.
Mike
Boy, you were
Boom
so
Boom
right.
Boniface or whatever your
It's
name
Mike-
is.
Mike Bum Bum Bonifant. We grew up together. What are you talking about?
We didn't
You
grow
and
up
me.
together,
Hey,
Mike.
with me? What are you kidding me? What are you kidding me?
Where'd you grow up, Mike?
I love you, Adam. Long Island.
Where?
Right beside you.
No, you
Right.
didn't.
Oh, man, when you were right, you were right, and you were right.
How are you even hearing
her
this, Mike?
songwriting skills are limited. Man.
How did you hear me say that,
You know
Mike?
what limited means in French?
What?
Bitch! What a bitch she is!
Oh, Mike, that is absolutely. Paula Poundstone is a good friend of mine, and I won't have you talking about
man,
that.
I don't know how you put up with her. Jesus,
Mike.
you know so much, and she's like an idiot.
Mike, this is I do not. I do not want to hear any more of this,
I don't know
Mike.
how she functions.
I'm going to have
Man.
to shut you down right there, Mike. That is
well,
out of
listen,
bounds.
Adam, I gotta go.
Yeah, I would hope
yeah,
so.
No, I gotta go.
How's the Trans Am in your garage coming, Mike?
Hey, I'm working on it. Hey, thanks for letting me borrow your fuzzy dice.
I didn't. I neither had them nor lent them.
Adam, I gotta go, man. I'll catch you after the game.
No. Bye, Mike. All right, so get back to the issue of these calls are starting to really get to me, Paula.
You're a busy guy. You're a popular guy. You know, you carry
yeah.
that phone with you. It's going to ring. All right. So I have a song, and you're right. My skills are limited.
Limited, and so we asked our listeners, why don't you take all our vocabulary songs, put them in a song, the way you've been doing with our theme songs, and submit them to us, and we'll play them on the show. It'll be a little bit like our theme song contest, and nobody has sent us anything, and.
I think partly because it is challenging. It's a very hard thing to do.
There's
Plus,
a bigger
of course,
reason, though.
Well, you have to know what the former vocabulary words were.
Exactly. We didn't give them that.
Yeah.
So basically what we were asking is, do us a favor. Listen to all existing 61 episodes of Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Pull the vocabulary word out of each, if we were doing vocabulary words at that point, and then write a song. And I feel like that was too high a bar.
Even a listener has to make some effort, Adam.
Yeah, no, I think that they've done quite enough for us, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And all they get in return is a bar of fresh signed hotel soap.
Yeah. By the way, we sent a bar of fresh hotel soap to listener Scott Franciscus and Tony Anita Hull.
Who usually does everything right.
She's fantastic, but she actually it came postage due, and he paid for it. And since then, he has been our benefactor.
He has not been.
Has paid for everything.
He really
and
hasn't.
I wanted, the Blume Doll. Who'd
Yeah.
that come from, huh?
I'm guessing
Yeah.
Tony Anita Hull.
Daddy,
And I bet you'll get the receipt.
Daddy Warscott. That's
No,
who it came
not
from. It came
Daddy
from.
Warscott.
Yeah, I want to thank you
Anyway.
so much, Scott Franciscus.
I don't want to argue
Really,
about
man.
that. What I do want to tell our listeners is that we have done you a service, or rather Tony Anita Hull has. And if you were to look on our Facebook page right now, you will see
The whole list.
the whole list of vocabulary words. You don't have to use them all in the song, but we've just made it easier for you.
So what I've been doing since I began writing the vocabulary word songs, every week I just add on the new word, and it goes something like this. This week's word is opprobrium. It's a noun meaning disgrace or reproach, arising from conduct considered shameful. Last week's word was clack. When I think back, it's a noun meaning individual group hired to applaud a performance, as in a theater. The week before that, the word was horologe. It's a timepiece, as a clock, watch, or hourglass. The week before that, the word was probity, a noun meaning moral excellence, integrity. The week before that, we had nugatory. It's an adjective that means inconsequential,
Are you kidding
worthless, having no force, inoperative. Adam didn't think it was the right word to describe the incorrectly prescribed antibiotic for my bladder infection, but I did. Thank you very much.
That's a smattering.
I was going to ask Longo
Even
to
in this
back me
studio-
up on that, but
No, I'm glad.
I know he could have. There we go.
Yeah, that really seals it. I want to introduce a new vocabulary word, amorphous.
Amorphous?
There is simply no shape or recognizable, repeatable melody.
That's
to
not
your...
true. Watch this. This week's word is opprobrium.
Yeah, that's about as far
Okay.
as you get.
No, and then the end. I did.
Yeah, that part.
I did.
That is the only replicable part of your song.
No, that's not true at all. After my song, I just want to, when I had a conversation with Captain Crinkle, my manager, Bonnie Burns,
Yeah.
she suggested that I try something more reggae with it.
I was on that conversation. I thought your answer was great. Do you remember what your answer was?
No, what did I say?
You said, I do not have the desire or ability to do that, Bonnie. And so
And
I will not be doing that.
And did that stop her?
Oh, no.
No.
No, if we were to bring her to the mic right now and don't even think about getting up, Bonnie,
Yeah.
she would say, I just think reggae would be a pretty good idea. The kids love reggae,
Yeah.
and, maybe you should make a reggae song out of it, Paula.
Yeah. No words, no cry.
That's pretty much as far as you can go with that. All right, listeners, if you want to send us that vocabulary song, we're at nobodylistens-to-Paula-Poundstone@gmail.com. Coming up, in his book, The BFG, Roald Dahl wrote, Don't gobble funk around with words. Sorry, BFG, we're going to be doing some real gobble funking with words when we return on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is brought to you in part by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, get easy, seasonal recipes and pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door. All you have to do is cook and enjoy.
HelloFresh makes cooking delicious meals at home a reality, regardless of your comfort in the kitchen. There's something for everyone, from family recipes to calorie smart and vegetarian, and fun menu series like Hall of Fame and craft burgers.
I've been trying HelloFresh recently, and I have no idea why I waited for so long, because it's great. Because, here, we're the perfect people to represent this product, because I love to cook and you rarely cook, and both of us enjoy cooking fresh HelloFresh meals.
Well, for me, you don't have to measure. I appreciate that.
Now, the first time you did it, you didn't realize that they were pre-measured. Is that correct?
I did measure in the beginning.
You measured it in the beginning.
Yeah.
You would open up these pre-measured pouches and measure them.
And pour them into, measuring.
It's easier when you don't do that, right?
I had a graduated cylinder that I was using.
Yeah, that's a terrible way to do that.
From my days
yeah.
of cooking meth. No, you know what? It is fun. I've done it with my daughters a couple of times. We've really enjoyed it, and then really enjoyed the meals. And my favorite part is if that Deadwood's not with me, then I can make the meals and have leftovers for a couple of days. And the thing about leftovers is
Deadwood being your daughter.
my daughters.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
I
just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the holidays right around the corner, it's a fun
You're
thing
going to want ingredients coming to your door so you can just make the meal and you don't have to worry about running out to the market when you're busy playing with your puffy flower doll or whatever that thing is. How's that coming along, Tony? Do we
Blume
have
Doll.
a doll yet? The Blume Doll.
This is as far as she blooms. Wow.
Oh, this is as far as she blooms.
Oh, and then you
we'll get to
pull
her
her
later
out.
because we're in the middle of talking about HelloFresh.
It's Judy from Lost in Space.
Yeah. Anyway, get 9 free meals with HelloFresh by going to HelloFresh.com/Poundstone9 and using the code Poundstone9. That's HelloFresh.com/Poundstone9 and use the code Poundstone9 for 9 free meals. That's
wow,
right.
that's a good deal.
That's a very good deal. Previously, we were offering 8, and that was a spectacular deal in its own right. Feel free to share your positive experience with HelloFresh on your social media channels. Please do. I do. Our promo code may be included when you share it. Tag your meal creation at #HelloFreshPicks, and that code, once again, is Poundstone9. And we're back. And Paula, I am happy to announce that apparently our Blume Doll has bloomed as much as it's going to bloom. And if you look at her, you'll see, and maybe we can get a picture of it, it looks like a flower.
Yeah, her head kind of looks like
Looks like
kind
a
of a
tulip
tulip
is coming out.
and it's popped up just to the base of the petals. And then
Now, what
that's
I'm told you're supposed to
that's
do-
the hair, and that's as far as she comes out on her own.
And then we
And
grab
then you
her
have to grab her like
and
a
extract her. Oh,
there
look
you
at
go.
her.
Oh,
and,
my
and
gosh.
Tony tells me this one's name is Cammy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she-
Cammy's hair is way too big for
and
her
Cammy
head.
had some kind of yeah, it really is. It looks uncomfortable. Here's
She looks
Cammy.
she looks like I Love Lucy in the one where she's in Vegas with the headdress on.
Yeah. It looks like those Vegas headdresses where, and I've talked to some women who've worn those headdresses, and they say that they are like back-breaking, neck-breaking kind of thing.
I would
so
think.
Cammy does not
I'm
have
worried
a long.
about Cammy's balance.
She's got a chiropractor in her future.
She's already. Yeah, well, that's
And
one
then
of the
there's
first
other
things
stuff
you pay
in
for
this-
once you get this doll.
I see. It's spring-loaded here at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then there's supposedly other stuff in here, but it's not coming out.
Um,
Push in, then down. Okay.
he's
There we
gonna-
go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and
He's
look,
gonna
there's
break Cammy's dormitory.
look, and it's Cammy's dormitory. That's
Look at
exactly what
that.
it is.
Oh, all right. So it's a little bit along the lines of who was the little teeny doll? Polly Pocket. It's a little bit. She's larger than a Polly Pocket.
Oh, and look, there's a little
her hair
cupboard
is
here
enormous.
that has extra toys. Look at this. All this crap. She's got like pots and pans.
Yeah.
And this is like a tub that has something in it. I'm sure it's going to be really.
Tub with something in it.
Yep.
do
It's
you
going to
mean?
be. It looks like it's another little pal. It's one. Remember we read that there was a little pal that
Oh,
came
she
with
has
Paul?
another friend that
Yeah,
she's
th-
kept
this-
trapped in the house.
This looks like a
She keeps
like
her
a
friend
little
trapped in the
flower
tub.
mutant thing.
That
Yeah.
show. That's like that movie Misery or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or the one with Glenn Close with the knife.
That's Fatal Instinct.
Yeah.
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 I'm handing this to you, Paul, because I
Thanks.
want nothing to do with Cammy. I don't think that's a great toy at all.
Well, I'm not arguing that it's a great toy. It's supposed to be the hot seller at Christmas time. All right, so her hair, the part that expands through the top of the pot that appears to grow.
That looks like a flower.
It looks like a flower. It's made of foam, and that's
Bonnie,
what makes when you.
If you're going to take pictures, turn off that shutter noise thing.
I don't know.
You don't know how. Oh, my God. There's no... Bonnie can figure out ways to make noise out of unnoisable things.
Poor Cammie. It's having a paparazzi experience right now.
Right. A trauma induced by Bonnie.
Oh, my God.
What the hell?
All right. I can't... yeah. All right. So she has a little dwelling here with...
Which is
a
not big
variety
enough
of-
for her hair.
Not really. Yeah. She'll never really be able to fit in here again because of the hair.
Wait, I just heard her say something. She said, "You watered me and ruined my life. Now I know only pain."
No, that's not her.
The hair comes off.
Oh, the hair comes
Tony
off.
says the hair comes off, which begs the question. Yeah, look. Her little
look at that.
headdress comes
So
off.
it wasn't even real.
And now here she is.
It wasn't even real hair.
Yeah, and now she looks like a
Oh
little
my gosh. Now she's tiny
starving
bun Barbie.
Yeah, starving
This
little.
is like a Barbie doll that isn't thriving.
Yes.
This is failure to thrive Barbie.
Which, when it came out in its own right, was not a hit.
Yeah, not a hit at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys, that's supposed to be the big seller.
And that ends our big Christmas shopping spectacular. Let's go back to shit that we care about. Okay, Paula, you care about words.
I do care about words.
You bring in new ones every week. You have a lot of
wish
questions
I could
about
remember
language.
'em.
Yeah, you have lots of questions about language.
Yes, I do. So I have a lot of questions. I keep trying to expand my vocabulary, but it's been very difficult.
Yeah, it might just need a catchy tune. But to answer some of these questions, we have with us a distinguished linguist, which is not an easy thing to say. Dr. David Goldstein earned his PhD at the University of California, Berkeley, and is a tenured professor at UCLA. He focuses on the syntax and semantics of the archaic Indo-European languages, but then again, who doesn't?
Well, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
In particular,
I do that in my spare time, for heaven's sakes.
Absolutely. In particular, Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, and the Anatolian languages. Please welcome David Goldstein.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for
Welcome.
being here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to ask you, how do you recommend expanding vocabulary? And is that a linguist question even?
Not well. I guess not in the sense that it's something that a linguist spends a lot of time thinking about or doing
No, I
research
know what
on.
they think about. They
but-
think about the syntax and semantics of the archaic Indo-European languages, in particular Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, and the Anatolian languages.
let's
Exactly.
back it
you
up a
got
little
it.
bit, though.
You
Like-
got it.
That's what you mostly
I mean,
focus
one of the
on.
things we are very interested in is how children acquire the vocabulary words that they have, because they do it amazingly quickly, especially
Yes.
compared to adults. Like children typically
Absolutely.
don't have the struggles that you might have been experiencing with learning vocabulary words. But so that part of it, linguists are really into.
You want to define linguist for us? It might help.
Yes. So a linguist, I would say, is somebody who is engaged in the scientific study of language. And this is a really broad definition that covers everything from how words are pronounced to how sentences are built and how words are formed and how languages change over time, which is actually my specialty. So this is called historical linguistics. But these
There's also language in the brain, right?
language in
All
the brain.
all that internal language stuff, all
Yeah.
the Chomsky stuff, right?
Chomsky stuff, theoretical
Who's
linguistics.
Chomsky, and why do we care?
So Noam Chomsky is, I think it's fair to say, the biggest name in theoretical linguistics these days.
Oh,
And
come on.
You have a different take?
Who's your favorite theoretical linguist, Paula?
Ed Winston.
Ed Winston.
Have you not read Ed Winston's work?
No, I thought he was going to be another caller. when
Or
we first...
or Elizabeth Saperstein, her work? No,
You don't
no,
have to reply to this, David. She's just fucking with you.
I'm not.
Tell her about Noam Chomsky.
So he, 60 or so years ago, he revolutionized the field by writing some books on syntax, and it just changed the way we studied language scientifically.
What is
And
syntax?
syntax is informally the way that speakers put words into bigger units called phrases, and then puts those phrases into bigger units called sentences.
And he wrote a book about that?
He's written several, actually. But
boy.
And one of the main ideas was that we come sort of hardwired, for lack of a better term, with we come sort of primed, ready to learn language, and that somewhere inside our brains there is something called universal grammar. And this was a revolutionary idea, and linguistics departments in most places, certainly at UCLA, are sort of built around this idea that linguists study universal grammar. It's like, we want to know what sort of a linguistic capacity we were born with. What is it? And this idea, this fundamental concept, goes back to Chomsky.
Uh-huh. And did you read all of his books?
I have read most of them. Some of them are, to be fair, very challenging. So, yeah.
Really? Because his syntax isn't good in some of them?
Terrible writer.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Just could not
Almost
string
unintelligible.
a sentence
Yeah.
together. Yeah, he's a walking refutation, if you will.
He sounds like Yoda
Yeah,
when he speaks.
yeah.
Teach you about language, I will. Chomsky Gnome, my name is.
He would have been great on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
All right, so now I thought I read that language began about the same time in all the different continents, even though they weren't together with one another. Is that true?
That's one of the most heavily debated questions in the study of language. There are sort of competing ideas as to when our species, Homo sapiens, developed the thing that we now call the language faculty. And, some people think this happened, I don't know. There are just various dates out there, but we
can just date it back to the first diary. I mean, you'd have to find a key, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's challenges.
Some of those little Neanderthal girls could hide those keys. I tell you.
Yeah, it's in the mattress.
And we don't really have a great handle on the question of, did language arise or originate once, or did it arise multiple times in multiple places? So let's say somewhere in Africa and somewhere in the Middle East, and it's possible, but we don't really know.
Now let me ask you this. So do we know why accents?
Why accents? Yes. So basically, people have sort of a set of sounds stored in their brains. Like, the sounds of English the same way Adam does. And you also have, you can think of it as like a set of operations on those sounds that make them pronounced in very particular ways. And humans are very good at picking up very subtle distinctions in language that can maybe suggest where a person is from, or
Like our
social
listener
class.
Mac from Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Yeah. He
That
sounds
case
very
in
Wisconsin
point.
now, yeah.
Yes. And so accents, and everybody has an accent. Some people think that, only certain groups or certain people have accents. That is decidedly not true. Everybody has an accent, and it's just the particular inventory of sounds that we have in our heads and how we produce them. And over time, these change. And so, for instance, the way we speak English now was not the way that Shakespeare spoke, and the way that Shakespeare spoke was not the way that Chaucer spoke. And that you could think of that as a change in accent. I mean, linguists tend to use the word phonology and phonetics to talk about how sounds change over
Not
time.
in my house, they don't.
And you have linguists over all the time.
And the minute I hear phonology, I'm like, you take that right outside this house.
Absolutely.
That is not who we are.
You have, yeah. Well, you run a tight ship over there.
I try to be a nice hostess, but there comes a point.
There does.
If you know what I mean.
When I was in high school, I was asked to memorize the beginning of Chaucer's, what did he write? That thing.
The Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales.
By a teacher or just a dare from one of
It
your
was a dare
friends?
for a kid, and I ended up both spraining my tongue and getting stuck to a fire pole.
I tried
flagpole.
to read the Canterbury Tales. It just did nothing for me.
Well, in its original form, it's almost illegible, but I had to memorize it in Old English. How did my English teacher, Mr. Pierkowski, know the pronunciation in the first place?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because I had to remember it was something like Juan in Aprillo with its sure sute.
Yeah.
was the first line.
Yeah.
The
So,
drocht of March hath pierced to the root. Something
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like that.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Did that sound right to you?
Absolutely. Mr. Pierpont.
Kirkowski.
Yeah. He expected that of every student, Mr. Pierkowski.
He did.
You know who can do the Canterbury Tales?
Great.
Yeah.
Who?
Mike.
Mike who?
Mike Boom Boom.
Oh. I'm pretty sure he can't.
Get the phone at him. No,
Really?
I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
no,
I don't.
I'll get it. I'll get it. Hello?
Yeah, Adam, it's Mike. It's me, Mike Boom Boom.
Yeah. Hi, Mike. What's your last name again, Mike?
You're a dick, Adam.
That's not nice, Mike. I thought we were friends.
Bonifit, Adam, it's me, Mike Boom Boom Bonifit.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Yeah, I was just going over. You remember that teacher we had? What was his name?
Mr. Pierkowski?
Mr. Pilkowski. What an asshole that guy was.
Hey, I liked Mr. Pierkowski, but he did
Yeah.
make us memorize the Canterbury Tales.
Yeah,
The first.
I had already memorized it the year before.
Do you still know it? You did?
Yeah,
Mike, first of all, I don't remember you at all from Mr. Pierkowski's class.
yeah. And we were in Miss Tootenswan's class the year before.
I didn't have a Miss Tootin' Swan.
We did.
No,
We
Mike,
had Miss Tootenswan.
I don't
Yeah,
think we know each other
yeah,
at all, Mike.
Yeah, we do.
So go ahead, recite the Canterbury Tales for me, Mike.
Well, I don't remember it now. I got other stuff on my mind.
So what did you call about?
To ask if you remembered our teacher.
Goodbye, Mike.
I see you, Adam. Good talking to you.
All right.
I'll see you after the game, man.
No, you won't.
See you after the game.
Okay, goodbye. So, David, how did Mr. Pierkowski know?
So we use a variety of methods. So sometimes we can tell from the way words are written how they may have been pronounced.
Right.
Sometimes, for instance, we can tell from rhyming patterns, like if certain vowels rhyme at some point but not later on.
Which is how we know that in the Canterbury Tales, in the example I gave, that sweet rhymes with root in their old pronunciation.
That could be.
I think that's okay.
Wait a minute. I'm not sure I'm following that. Explain that again.
So the sounds of vowels change over time. And so to take Adam's example, sweet and root, those do not rhyme
They do not
today.
rhyme.
They do not rhyme. You are absolutely right about that. But it could be the case that at one point in the past, they did rhyme. But so this would be an example of how sounds could diverge over time. So they once rhymed, so they were once the same, more or less. And then over time, they could have diverged. I would have to sit and think about this particular example.
I mean, I'm dredging something
but
up from like 3 decades ago, so I could be totally wrong about it.
Might be. Yeah, there's a possibility there. Let me ask you this: does every language have curse words?
So there are about, we estimate that there are about 7,000 languages in the world spoken right now, and we haven't documented them all, and also about half of them.
You have documented them all.
That means there are languages out there that linguists are still working on
Wait a minute, there's
describing.
What are you doing with your time?
7,000.
I
you know,
know.
it's all this focus on syntax and semantics of the archaic
know, we should be out-
Indo-European languages, in particular Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, and Anatolian languages. There's only 7,000 languages. I mean, in the scope of things, that's not that many. How many linguists are there?
You got me. That's a great question.
I
I've
would
never
say
tried
if
to-
everybody just took one language, we could have this thing knocked off.
Honest
Yeah,
to God.
maybe
do they
you could
all
use your
work?
show to help the cause of language documentation.
Do they all work like really short hours?
Yeah, I feel like you guys are kind of slacking.
Yeah. I mean, some of them we've already found. Like, is there some asshole that just keeps going, I found French. We already knew about French. Ah, shit. And I spent all that time.
And then 3 days later, I found French.
Yeah, exactly. No, we already know about French. People go, oh, guess what they speak in England?
But let's go back to our actual question, which is about the cursing.
Curse word. Yeah. So we don't know about every language that's out there, but we have
You're
reason.
laying down on a job.
How many have you done?
How many have we?
Yeah,
How
you
many
got-
have been described?
Yes.
No, how many languages?
Yeah,
7,000 languages.
Out of those, how many have been described? That's what
Yes.
you're.
Yeah.
That's what you're
That's essentially what
asking.
she's asking.
I would say somewhere in the thousands, but the problem is
I would
that
hope.
about half of them. So we're living in an age where linguistic diversity is rapidly dying out. So I think it's
Much
something.
like
Well, then
biological
you guys
diversity.
Much
better
like
get your asses moving.
yeah, I think one of the
Are
estimates.
you just waiting it out? You're like, you know what?
If we leave the subcontinent alone for another 10 years,
Yeah, exactly.
that's going to knock 600 languages right off the map.
Eventually, there'll just be 6,000. So you guys are just going to pool parties and playing like beach volleyball. Yeah, we got another. Yeah, let's have another
Little
meeting.
counter ticking down as a language dies.
Yeah, yay! And all these guys like on the floor of the stock market.
Right.
Yay, yay!
It's got one more speaker and he's very sick.
Yeah. I just don't understand. I mean, I thought you were going to say like some number that was, astronomical, and who could possibly even grasp that? But 7,000,
All right.
and just have
But we
you?
haven't let
have
you
you,
answer
have
this.
it's
you,
doable. You
have
think we
you
need to be
done
working
any?
longer hours?
That's
I'm
definitely
wondering-
what she's saying.
I'm frankly wondering, David, if you're the weak link.
That doesn't seem entirely fair. Because I got to say, we're not going to discover any new Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, or Anatolian languages, are we? Those are pretty much discovered.
Well, we might discover more Anatolian languages. So the Anatolian languages were discovered right around the time of the First World War. They had been lost. They were buried in ancient Turkey and various places.
Was
These
someone?
these are dead
were-
languages.
Were one
Yeah,
of you
yeah,
guys
they're
supposed to
ancient.
be in charge of it?
I was not. No, at the time I was not responsible.
Who had it last?
Yeah.
Who had these Anatolian languages last? 'Cause-
No, it's like the bathroom key here at the studio.
Yeah.
Twice I've gone home with it around my neck, but I didn't
Right.
lose a whole fucking language. Wow. All right. So you've been focusing on these Anatolian languages.
Did we ever
and-
really get to the curse words answer?
Yeah, are there
Cursing.
cursing?
So-
yeah.
I think we've interrupted you 7 times now.
Did the Anatolians used to curse?
Yeah, so we have reason to believe that every language has cursing, but I would just say that
What is the reason you have to believe it?
so.
Because no matter what
'Cause they all have
country,
hammers.
no matter what country you're in, you feel angry. Oh, that's great.
Any culture that has a hammer has a
yeah,
curse
they
word.
have to curse.
we think,
Shut.
we think
I imagine this peaceful bucolic culture that never had hammers,
Yeah.
and then like somebody comes to the village and invents it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Next
then
thing you know,
next
God damn it!
yeah. Yeah, people with bonnets saying shit they meant not to.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the question.
So, yeah, we think that in every culture there are words whose use can bring about some sort of social penalty. That is, that you're not supposed to use. And
Yes.
cursing falls into that category.
Cursing,
you
blasphemy.
Blasphemy, yeah.
That
and
the user
Yeah.
is steeped in opprobrium as a result.
one could put it that way, yes.
Thank you very much. This week's word is opprobrium. Wow, because I am just fascinated.
It just strikes me that the opening line, the only line of your song that actually has a melody, is stolen from Lullaby of Broadway.
I didn't notice that.
I did.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Yeah,
How do you know they didn't steal from me?
That's quite possible. Let's get
I've
back
been
to this
doing
interview.
the vocabulary song for weeks.
It
How
feels
long's
like
the
years.
Lullaby of Broadway song been happening?
A long time.
Yeah, well, they've had their eyes on me. Oh, wait, I was just going to ask you something important. Oh, I am fascinated by this idea that there's words that you're not supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, it's like sand traps in golf.
We're going to want you to elaborate on that, Ms. Poundstone. Ms. Poundstone, we're going to ask you to go ahead and tell us what you're talking about with the golf traps, because we're kind of confused.
Well, we put them there,
Uh-huh.
right, to begin with.
Sure.
People pay a lot of money to play at a golf course that has them.
Oh,
And then they bitch when they land there. Do you see what I'm saying?
it's a fantastic image. Yes.
It's
a
by,
great analogy.
It's by design that it's there.
Yeah.
But when someone uses it, they get upset.
Yeah.
Why would you come up with a word that you're not supposed to say? And then we have to know what the word is in order to know not to say it.
Yes, so it's very complicated. So there are a lot of conventions that have to be learned around language. And why that That's a hard question to answer, to be honest. But
When my son was 3, he heard that there were bad words and he didn't know what they were. So he sat in the back seat one day just guessing. And he was in the neighborhood. He's like, "Is it poop?" No, you're allowed to say poop. Is it pee? No. He just kept guessing and guessing. I was like, "You're not going to guess it, Baz, because you don't know the word." Yeah.
And did you finally just say, "Fuck, Baz"?
Yeah.
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 Did you finally just explain to him?
Yeah, I
It's
did.
they're all sexual words, Baz.
Yeah, that's a great question. Are sexual words the bad words in most languages? Like, how
Often.
do the Anatolians feel about these?
often that sort of taboo words can revolve around sex, but there are many other things, such as religious elements, whether it's the name of a deity in particular or maybe a particular animal that is considered holy.
Really?
Also,
there's a
also
holy
fecal
animal
words.
you can't say? I hope it's not llama, because we've said llama a bunch of times.
Well, we've had to, because that thing
Yeah.
has been spitting for the
Yeah.
whole show.
Yeah. I'm sorry about your shirt. Yeah. Anthony does this thing where he brings like a big animal, and we
Yeah.
don't really know why or where he gets them.
He deflects when we ask.
Yeah. I mean, he's the nicest guy in the world, but apparently he
salt
has
of the earth.
a feeling that he doesn't somehow fit in, and he tries to make up for that by
He
bringing...
tries to fill that space with giant
Yeah.
black market animals.
Yeah. I mean, we had a bison in here
For 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks that he just left it here. The whole place reeked of bison.
Is bison a bad word in any language?
not that I'm aware
Is it a
of.
holy animal?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Can you think of a holy animal from the...
That you're not
maybe
allowed
from
to name?
Maybe from the Anatolian languages?
Or Sanskrit?
Some people have suggested that in certain ancient cultures, not necessarily Anatolian, the word bear was one that you could not.
Shut up!
And so but people obviously needed to talk about bears in some context.
Oh, wouldn't
and
that be
so-
awful if it was considered a curse word, but one was coming at somebody and you needed to let them know?
Hey, look out for the...
Yeah. It's,
No, you gotta look out for the...
yeah.
What should I look out for?
It's fuzzy and it's big. Is it a bunny? No, it's not a bunny.
It's a bear. Shame on you!
Yeah, that doesn't seem really bear of all things. Why?
Different cultures, different. I mean, we live in a time and a place where that seems really weird or really crazy. Like, we just can't imagine the motivation for that. But in other, I mean, it's also like there are certain cultures in which you can't name the word for God, and you come up with other words.
You can't name the word for God?
So you can't utter God's name, is what I mean.
For God. I thought
God.
you said forgot.
No, God. Yeah. And so
you
you
can't-
have to come up with other ways to utter it because it's like too holy to name.
Oh, because
Oh,
And
the
so-
the Israelites do that.
Yes, so that would be
you
one
can't say
example.
God. You have to just say mass hallucination.
Now, I noticed that all the languages that you specialize in are dead. Is that because you don't want to talk to people?
That's what my wife would probably say. But
Let me just say, I watch a lot of Columbo, and it's a funny coincidence that every language you study happens to be dead.
Yeah.
They were alive when everyone else last saw them.
The language murderer.
Yeah, we're going to have to take you in, sir. I don't believe in coincidence. Is there slang for sexual parts in every language?
probably, I mean, that's
Probably?
a very common source of taboo words, of words
Yeah.
that you're not supposed to say, or rather, that you're not supposed to say in particular contexts. And so, like in English, we have a set of words for sexual parts that you use in colloquial conversation, but then we also have a whole different set of medical terminology to refer to the same things.
Right.
But they sound different, they have different histories. And so this is all to say that this is a very common area of words that are regulated by special conventions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it seems like English, in the English language at least, the absolute worst words, the words that we're not allowed to say under any circumstances, most of them have been around for an unbelievably long amount of time.
And everyone uses them no matter what they say.
Yeah, so there are some curse words and swear words that have been around for centuries, but one of the interesting things about these curse words or about taboo words in general is that over time, the things that you're not allowed to say can change. And
Yeah.
so, for instance, now I think like certain curse words, I think they're just used more often. You might hear them on television, or I might hear them among my students, but there are now other things that are really like if I were to say it in a classroom or something, could be considered very shocking.
Yeah.
And 20 years from now, it might be a totally different set of words.
Huh.
Like, here's an example. Under as the DOJ, you can't say the word fair to Bill Barr.
Yeah. No, he gets deeply offended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's changed.
Yeah, that's basically the Justice Department's equivalent of the C word at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's their F word.
Whereas racist motherfucker is fine,
Okay.
but fair, boy,
Yeah.
opprobrium. You'll be steeped in opprobrium.
It would be heaped
should
upon you.
Yeah, should you use that word?
Do Eskimos really have, and they're not Eskimos, do Inuits really have 5 different words for snow? That's one of the things you hear.
5, the more extreme form of that claim is usually something like that. They have 100
I've
words
heard
for
it was
snow.
like
People
50.
always,
And
this
this has been debunked. Yeah. So
it has
this
been
is
thoroughly debunked.
It has been
Yeah.
debunked. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's been written about this, and this is something that somehow got into the popular imagination and the media. But no, this is
just
not.
Yeah.
This is,
Because
It makes so
here's how
much intuitive sense.
here's how
like they
they-
live among a lot of snow.
they had Inuit snow naming contest in like a
Much the way we've had a contest.
Yeah, no, they did it live in a town hall, and guys just stood on stage going, "Snow."
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah. And they finally had to
It's
say,
water
"We,
from
we
the
have
sky
a
frozen."
we have a tie." we have 10 entrants. We have a 10-way tie. There's just snow. Yeah, I had heard that it was like 50. Yeah. Different words for snow because they saw so much of it. They had to think of different ways of.
Describing different kinds.
Yeah.
The wet stuff and the dry stuff. But you're saying that's absolutely a myth.
yeah, that's been debunked.
Who debunked it?
That I would have to check the article.
It
Do you
wasn't
think it-
you because you
was
don't.
it-
You're
it
not.
wa- no.
Was
no,
it a
it was a-
linguist? Was it a linguist who
It
debunked
was a
it?
linguist,
Well,
yes.
if they would spend a little bit more fucking time.
Yeah, we
Don't-
wouldn't be
you
making
don't-
these schoolyard rumors. If you,
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of chasing a ridiculous theory like that, they should have been going after those 7,000 languages.
Before they're all gone.
Precisely.
Yes.
I think while we've been here today.
Oh, 3 languages must. They are going. Languages are disappearing really quickly, aren't they?
They are disappearing very, very quickly.
Now, is that because of the cultural assimilation going on, or
Yeah, you have the rise of these enormous global languages. Like if you think of the spread of English, like English is truly
It's
a
everywhere,
It's
yeah.
everywhere. Yeah,
it's the
And
lingua
so-
franca of the world?
Yes, exactly. And so if you think about, before Europeans arrived in the Americas, there was tons of linguistic diversity here, but now these communities have really been reduced in size, and there are now attempts to revitalize some American language, some Native American languages. So there is an effort to buck the trend, but yeah, most people are switching to dominant languages for various reasons.
Would you say that minor birds and parrots were not as entertaining before humans could talk?
You got me.
That's an interesting question. I guess what I'd come back with is entertaining to whom?
Well, I mean, everybody loves to hear a parrot talk.
Yeah, but if there's
right?
no everybody around.
Yeah. Well, there could have been people, but they didn't talk yet.
Oh, we're pre-verbal people. Was pre-verbal man less entertained by parrots and minors? Wow.
I'm not qualified.
We have
to
stumped
say.
the
I'm not-
expert.
What were they imitating if it wasn't language then?
Car alarms.
Excellent.
I think we've
answer.
solved this one without our linguist.
Oh man, yeah, Jesus. So, are you're a professor?
Yes.
What time do you go in the morning?
About 8:30 after I drop my daughter off at school. I usually get into the office about 8:30.
And you drop her off at about what time?
Just before 8.
Just before 8, and then is it a 30-minute drive to your job from there?
I take the bus, but
You
yeah.
take the bus.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
And,
think I see where you're going with this
yeah.
too.
I just think that there's time for you to look into these other languages.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Goldstein. All I can say is word up. Paula, what advice based on this can you give our listeners about words and linguistics?
Longo Chew, can I have some wordy music to underscore this summary? There are an estimated 7,000 languages, but many have not been described. There are only 7,000. Linguists are presumably busy. They're probably commuting farther than they need to. When they watch YouTube, they never skip the ads. A lot of them must be disorganized. They spend a lot of time looking for their keys. They don't alphabetize. They lose socks easily, play a lot of Monopoly. And those who wear glasses rarely realize they're on the top of their head. I learned so much from David Goldstein. For example, the sounds of vowels can change over time, which means that in the course of my lifetime, I can go from being hot to being hoot, to being hot, to being hit, to being hate, and end up being really hot.
Dr. David Goldstein is Associate Professor of Linguistics at UCLA. Dave, thank you so much for coming by.
Man, you're great.
Just
Thank you.
fantastic. Coming up, we open up the listener mailbag and hear from you, the nobodies out in the world. That's coming up right after this. The cat of the week is Scamp from Greencastle, Indiana. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is supported in part by Away.
Everyone has a unique travel style, which
Yours is weird.
my travel style is weird.
It is. We'll get to it. I'm sorry. You were saying.
Not.
Yes, it is.
Everyone has a unique travel style, which is why Away offers a range of suitcases made of different materials, a variety of colors, and 2 carry-on sizes. So for whoever you are, Away has luggage that works for how you travel.
All of Away's suitcases are thoughtfully designed to last a lifetime with durable exteriors that can withstand even the roughest of baggage handlers. 4 360-degree spinner wheels guarantee a smooth roll.
Away offers free shipping and returns on any order within the contiguous U.S., Europe, Canada, and Australia.
And you know, I went and did a wait, don't tell me last week. I traveled to Chicago. My only piece of luggage was my Away Smart carry-on with the lithium ion battery. I think it's a lithium. It might be nickel cadmium. I don't know. It's a great battery.
It could be.
You can charge your phone 10 times over with it.
What was the thing that powered the Jupiter 2?
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Deuteronium.
Deuteronium.
Yeah, it could be deuteronium.
It wasn't, because that's fictional.
Because what?
That's fictional. We
No,
had a
it's
science
not.
fiction
it's Away
writer
luggage.
on. No, they don't use deuteronium,
they offer
dilithium,
free
or
shipping
unobtainium.
and returns on any order within the contiguous U.S., Europe, Canada, and Australia.
That part is true.
How fictitious is that?
That's not fictitious at all. That's for real. And here's
exactly,
another thing
which
that's
is
for real.
why I read it.
The reason I brought it up. Is that I was traveling to Wait, Don't Tell Me, and I noticed that Away luggage is now way more prevalent on airplanes. I saw lots of people besides me with Away, so I'm guessing the company's doing really well. I'd like to
Were
think
you
we
like
have something
in
to do
a
with it.
gaggle of Away luggage
It was
users?
near to being a
Just-
gaggle of
Did
Away
you gather
luggage.
near the restroom? Because you're not supposed to do that on an airplane anymore.
We didn't,
Yeah,
and I
I'll
couldn't
bet
have told
walk
you.
out- They probably had to get the pilot had to get on the thing and say, "Away luggage users, please go back to your seats. Don't gather in a gaggle near the restroom." Because of 9/11, they have to say that now.
Yeah, they didn't, and it didn't happen that way. But I did notice a lot of Away luggage on my plane with me.
Yeah.
You haven't noticed this? I tell you, they're selling really well, and I'd like to think we have something to do with it.
I don't look at other people's luggage.
You don't?
No, it's a private thing.
No, it isn't. It's not personal or private. It's a suitcase.
Yeah, I don't look at other people's suitcases, and frankly, I don't appreciate it when other people look at mine.
Okay, that's weird. All right, for $20 off any suitcase or bag, visit away.com/Paula20.
When mine comes up on the carousel, I throw a sheet over it.
Oh, yeah?
I just don't like people looking at my luggage.
Okay,
That's
again,
all.
I don't know why that would be. I mean,
And I love my away luggage. It's what I carry my merch in.
Yeah.
I have the large bag.
Yeah.
And I stuff that thing, and I use.
And you use another bag as well, which is why I say your travel habits are a little weird.
I do use another bag, but I what's the thing called where you pull the straps and it tightens it?
Oh yeah, that's their unique compression packing system.
I use the compression
I
packing
do
system,
too
and it
because
works great.
it's a great.
And you
it's a
know
great
what
system.
it holds in? It holds in
Your gut.
No, I'm not in the suitcase.
Oh, just
No.
asking.
No,
You seem
no, you
okay.
don't understand how to use a suitcase.
Okay, apparently not.
Oh my God! You'd think that some of those people that you gather near the restroom on the airplane
Which
with would
didn't
tell
happen.
you
Yeah, they did
to
because
take
they
it
worried.
off your body. That's
Yeah.
not how you wear it.
Well, live and learn is
It's
what
not
I
a
say.
garment. No, I use the compression strap thingy
Yeah.
to hold my remarkably soft tri-poly blend T-shirts that I sell on the road with
Tripoly, a substance
it's
that is of the same ilk as deuteronium, dilithium, and unobtainium, in that it is a sci-fi substance.
No, it isn't. It's a tri-poly. It's remarkably soft. And the T-shirts
Tri-poly is
themselves
not a-
have a self-portrait on the left breast and a
Memorable
memorable
quote
quote on
on
the
the
back.
back.
And I carry a lot of them. And
Compressed
by the
now.
way, they are compressed. And then in the other compartments, so they don't touch each other. Now I have Poundstone pussy pillows that are very, very popular. And I
Wow.
can
Good thing that the
autograph
airports
them.
aren't filled with drug-sniffing cats.
Yeah. I'm likely to get a
Yeah,
pat
you'd be
down.
stopped by that.
I'm going to get pat down by Sylvester.
Now, as I was saying, for $20 off any suitcase or bag, visit away.com/Paula20 and use promo code Paula20 during checkout. That's awaytravel.com/Paula20, promo code Paula20 for $20 off. And these are not expensive suitcases, so $20 is a significant savings.
Yeah, it is a significant savings. Yeah. It's interesting because, the Poundstone pussy pillows are $12 each.
Yeah.
So you got your $20 off savings there. You got the first thing you want to put in your away suitcase.
These pillows are small, though, right? You don't really need to compress them.
No, you don't. No, that's not. I told you the T-shirts are on the compressing
Oh,
side.
hey, don't get mad at
The
me, pal.
T-shirts are. And
Okay.
stop looking at my suitcase.
Sorry. Jesus.
Yeah. But anyways, that's.
All right, for $20 off any suitcase or bag, visit awaytravel.com/Paula20 and use promo code Paula20 during checkout. That's awaytravel.com/Paula20, promo code Paula20 for $20 off.
It is a French Trump.
What?
It is a French Trump.
Oh, look at this. It's our beloved
Be
hand
quiet,
puppet.
be quiet, reporter. Quiet, reporter. Quiet. Just look at Joe Biden. You will see tremendous corruption.
My Badan?
Joe Biden.
Your Badan.
Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden.
See? Yeah, we, Joe Biden.
Well, welcome to
You
our
will
show,
see
French Trump.
Tremendous corruption because what he did
Corruption?
is a quid pro quo times 10. Times these.
Times these. These what?
Week times these.
What's this?
These quid pro quo times these,
These,
which
10.
is 10.
Yeah.
10. This
Yeah.
quid pro quo.
You know-
Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
No, I get it.
Quid pro quo.
Okay,
Quid
that's
pro
six.
quo. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
Neuf.
Quid pro quo.
Dix.
Quid pro quo. These.
Yeah. Okay. Now, thank you for illustrating that, French Trump. I want to say most native French speakers, and we have a linguist with us tonight,
Oui.
will say "dix."
He must
And then
admire my great and unmatched wisdom.
I'm sure he does. Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Okay. But what I'm saying is most native French speakers will say the number dix in their own language first and then realize that it's 10 in
Dix.
English. You did it the other way.
This.
You said 10 several times and then remembered it was dix in French.
I was trying to get through to you, Adam Felbert. It is a French Trump.
Oh, we covered that. Yeah, well, welcome.
Thank you.
How's impeachment doing for you?
Impeachment begins. We are in the middle of impeachment.
Right, and how are you liking it?
Oh, I do not like it at all.
No?
I do not like impeachment. I tell you what. Pence has not been. For days, he has not told me how good looking I am or how
Oh.
smart I am.
Oh, it's terrible.
Nikki Haley is beginning to look very good to me.
That's a, Very creepy statement coming from you.
Nikki Haley looks very good to moi.
What are you saying?
Oh, well, we have so much in common.
No.
I think she uses a curling iron to turn the ends of her hair inward. And I
Inward.
use a curling iron. I do.
French.
Pence, there's a section of my boot that Pence has not licked lately, and it is making Nikki Haley look very good to moi.
Now, French Trump, I don't appreciate you using this platform, my podcast, to kind of put the thumb screws on Mike Pence. That seems indecent.
Mike Pence blow dries.
He blow dries.
He blow dries. He does not use a curling iron.
Now, French Trump, one question.
Nikki Haley protected me.
French Trump, I
That's why I love her.
She did speak up for you, yeah.
She did. She protected me.
Again, it's turning very creepy.
Curling irons make very good government.
What's with the bunny ears, French Trump?
What bunny ears?
When you make the puppet French Trump, you raise these two little ears.
No, those are my eyes.
Those are your eyes? On stalks?
Those are my eyes, Adam Felber. I am looking at you.
Really? So you're sort of like insectoid French Trump.
No. Oh, no, it's just French Trump. This is how I look.
Okay.
This is how I look.
Wow.
I use a curling iron.
It's-
I run. I use a curling iron.
I run.
Do you know why?
Why?
It makes for very good government.
How?
Me and Nikki Haley.
Sitting in a tree.
Yes, that's right. Sitting in the Oval Office.
All right. Oh, Vice President Pence, if you're listening, you probably should listen up to that.
Vice President Pence, if you are listening, prepare to lick my boot.
Okay. Now, is Paula in there anywhere?
I'm sorry?
Okay, Paula.
Yeah.
I understand you have a cute little story to tell us.
I have a cute little cat story, Adam.
Okay.
Here it is. Cute little cat story. I spent an extra 30 minutes cleaning litter boxes last night because my cat Theo stood high atop the litter within the box to pee on the wall, which ran down under the box.
Okay. That is going to turn cute.
Yeah, it's a cute little cat story.
That was it?
Yeah.
Your cat stood up in the box and peed on the wall.
Yeah, ran down under the box, extra 30 minutes of cleaning.
That doesn't sound cute to me.
Yeah, well, you gotta love them.
No, you don't. No, I don't. All right. Now
you do.
Not really. Now, we always welcome letters from our listeners. As you know, we like to have a two-way communication thing happening.
Well, whether we like to or not, we get letters.
We do get letters,
Yeah,
and it's time to share some of them now. Let's go through the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone mailbag. Mailbag. Okay, now we got several emails that feature comments about Bonnie Captain Crinkle Burns.
She's gonna have a spin-off, I'm telling you.
Oh boy, yeah, that'll be a weekly podcast, and by that I mean it will take a week per episode. This one came from Dina Peterson, who wrote, "I was one of the artists that helped to paint the scenes for the film Loving Vincent, a completely hand-painted animated film about Van Gogh. Tonight, I discovered a one-man play on Netflix featuring the late Leonard Nimoy as Theo Van Gogh, circa 1981. I was surprised to see that the name Bonnie Burns as the producer. I was surprised to see the name Bonnie Burns as the producer. I am surprised right now, too. In fact, I thought I may have detected a faint and slightly distracting crinkling noise during the monologue. I just had to write to ask if this is the very same Bonnie Burns that is now Paula's manager. Bonnie, were you in one word or less, were you a producer of that particular movie?
And I directed it.
That was
That is not one word or less. Yeah.
She said, and I directed it.
Yeah.
So you directed
So
Loving
many
Vincent.
times, so many times they had to, Leonard Nimoy would be talking about his painting and the potato people and all, and then he would just go, Bonnie, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And
The famously stoic Leonard Nimoy.
yeah,
Spock.
Yeah. Right,
was
exactly.
pushed to distraction by Bonnie
Keeps
Burns.
all his
So you directed
emotions-
an animated film narrated by Leonard Nimoy.
No, he was on stage as Van Gogh. It was a theater production.
Oh, it was a one-man play. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. At the
Yeah.
Guthrie.
At the Guthrie.
Mm.
Okay, fantastic.
It was a one-man play, and Bonnie directed the whole cast.
Really? I heard she had a falling out with one of them. All right.
Yeah, boy, the cast party was so exciting.
Yeah, except for that one cast member that would not speak to Bonnie at that point.
Yeah, later Nimoy was there. Oh, I don't think I knew that, Bonnie.
I didn't.
Bonnie, you have fans out there. Luke Thomas wrote to say, "Hey, y'all, love the show. I would love to hear more of Bonnie Burns' stories, misfortunes, and long, rambling answers.
What is wrong with you, Luke?
I really enjoyed hearing the iTunes saga. I found it hilarious. Thanks."
Okay.
And Jean Embry wrote, "I love when Bonnie got to talk. More Bonnie."
Are we serious? What,
You know what?
What are you nobody's doing with your time?
Apparently,
I mean, I think you have to find work closer to home. I seriously do.
apparently Bonnie writes to our Facebook page under under pseudonyms.
She now has 19 Facebook accounts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kevin from San Francisco also came to Bonnie's defense. He wrote, quote, "You read an email from Norma who expressed her displeasure with Captain Crinkle's story of uploading Paula's new hit single to iTunes. That was one of my favorite episodes to date, and I listened to that particular segment over and over again.
Wow.
The three of you were hilarious, and I always love when Captain Crinkle comes to the microphone."
See, because we've
Well,
been
that
trying.
makes two of you, because Bonnie loves it too.
She does. She'll wander over near the microphone, and we have to take out a spray bottle.
Yeah, the
back.
same one we're using to keep Pod Pup from chewing through the wires.
That's exactly right.
Oh, wait, and here's another one. This message was directed to me. Dear Adam, I haven't read this before. Dear Adam, in the episode featuring grammarian Julia Callahan, I was thrilled to hear Paula bring up her high school English teacher, Judy Plott. Paula and I both went to Lincoln Sudbury Regional High School, although not at the same time. And I also had Mrs. Plott as an English teacher. Therefore, you can imagine my dismay, and dare I say disgust, when you suggested that Judy Plott was a subpar English teacher.
Now you've gone and done it.
While I confess that there are many moments when you are the voice of reason on this podcast, this was absolutely not one of them. I am writing to offer a full-throated defense of this brilliant educator. I have spent the better part of a half hour writing and rewriting praises of this brilliant woman, worrying I wasn't quite doing her justice. However, I know you like to get to the point, so I'll keep it brief. A little late for that. Judy Plott is hands down one of the best teachers I've ever had in my entire life, both in and out of the classroom. Full stop. I am sorry to inform you that you grabbed the wrong end of the stick on this one. I forgive you for your ignorance, but now you know. Sincerely, Kristen Lowry, LS alum and comma enthusiast.
You know, I think all of that is her way of saying, Adam Felber, bear.
Oh! Well, at least she didn't resort to such vile language, Paula. That's really offensive.
Yeah, sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry, I kind of...
Well, I apologize. And you know what? Kristen, your letter is very well written. So I would say that clearly Ms. Plott's teaching took a hold with you. And maybe the problem was, as Paula said, that she didn't go to class very often.
She probably, yeah. That was my mistake,
Yeah.
not going to class. Although I love it that she says both in and out of the classroom. I don't know what that meant.
I'm not going to suggest what that immediately popped into my head, because then I'd get another letter from Kristen Lowry.
Well, you have come down on the wrong side of Kristen Lowry.
She
I can
basically
tell
put
you.
me on the wrong side of history on this one.
Yeah, no, Judy Plott was a great teacher.
Okay, great.
I love it that she calls her Mrs. Plott, because in my day, in the late 70s, we called our teachers by their first name.
Really?
Yeah. Boy, they shut that door.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
My kids have to refer to their teachers as Your Majesty.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then I'm talking about in high school. In elementary school,
It's always Your Majesty.
it was,
Yeah.
it was Mrs., Miss White and
Okay.
Mrs. Bump and Miss Carter.
Uh-huh.
I had Mrs. Bump was the best teacher. That's my kindergarten teacher. Hey,
I had Miss Serencian. She broke my finger.
oh, you had it coming. I got a request from
She didn't really.
political candidate. His name is Colin Wilhelm, and he wrote, "Hi guys, my name is Colin Wilhelm, and I'm a huge fan of the show. I've always loved Paula, and I think it's great that Adam is on every show, too.
Oh, for God's
I
sakes.
am launching my 2020 Colorado State House campaign as a Democrat here in Western Colorado. I personally love Paula's song, Not My Butterfinger, and agree with the song on many levels. I think it would make an excellent walk-on song for some campaign events. So my ask is, would Paula be willing to let me use the song at a few campaign events? Oh,
Would you?
I think I'd be flattered.
Okay, absolutely. Go right ahead and do it. And for you or everybody, Colin, you can download the Not My Butterfinger song on iTunes or wherever you get your music. It's called Not My Butterfinger by Paula Poundstone.
Yeah, it's on iTunes.
And good luck in your campaign, Colin, although I don't know why you have to pick up that same calumny that everybody launches about Adam Felber that I'm just on every episode.
It's not a calumny. That is not a calumny.
Oh, look,
That
it's
is
Mrs.
not
Culpepper.
a calumny, Adam Felber.
Welcome, Mrs. Culpepper.
Boy, Adam, I have not spoken to you for a while, and one of the things I've noticed is that you and Mike Boom Boom have become you are birds of a feather.
Really? Because I don't feel like I don't identify with Mike at all, Mrs. Culpepper.
You're like twins that were separated, but you're in lockstep with one another.
What is happening
It's
to this
beautiful
show?
to see such a friendship unfold.
It's not a friendship,
here
and why am I
after-
arguing with a hand puppet over an imaginary caller?
What?
I said, why am I arguing with a hand puppet about an imaginary
That
caller?
is a damnable calumny.
Mrs. Culpepper, don't you have anywhere to be tonight?
Uh,
I'm sure your husband misses you.
I'm here on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, waiting for Tom Hanks to show up.
Well, Tom Hanks, as we learned from Paula, is not going to show up.
He is.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he's asked in order to appear on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Tom Hanks, a wonderful, wonderful actor, has insisted that I not wear my ruby sateen dress. He has requested that you wear an argyle sweater vest and that we have pinafores available to him.
That seems like a reasonable bunch of requests to me.
I don't truckle to Tom Hanks.
All right, then. Well, then you don't have to be there that night. You can spend a quiet evening at home with Captain Culpepper.
I'll spend a quiet evening at... I can't do that.
Why not?
Well, Captain Culpepper is no longer with us, Adam.
Oh, really? What happened?
He passed away.
Oh. Well, I guess the time comes for everybody. There's no predicting the rhyme or the reason when natural causes take one away from us.
Well, it was
Sorry.
not, in fact, natural causes.
It wasn't.
I must contest that. No, it was not.
What was it?
It was,
Was it something crazy like triotoxism or something?
It was
Tyrotoxin.
tyrotoxism, which of course is poisoning by cheese or other dairy products.
How unusual.
It was tragic.
It must have been
Adam. It was-
grotesque as well.
It was grotesque, and it's a painful memory.
I don't want to make you live it, so you don't have to tell me about the cottage cheese or whatever did it to
It
him.
was not cottage cheese, Adam Felber.
yeah.
It was the Gouda that got him.
Okay, well, sure that must have been awful.
You are two peas in a pod with Mike Boom Boom.
I am not. I'm not.
Bonafit, you and Mike Boom Boom Bonafit are birds of a feather. You're thick as thieves.
We're not thick as thieves.
You are thick as thieves.
Okay. Now, Paula, speaking of Mrs. Culpepper, I understand you received a gift, and you're trying to find out a return address for a thank you card.
Yes,
you received
I
a large gift
I
in
received
the mail.
Mrs. Culpepper received a very beautiful red sateen dress.
But a real full-size ruby sateen dress.
Very, very beautiful, which with quite skilled tailor work. Is very, very beautiful. And I read a lovely card that came from the woman who sent it. But Paula's assistant, Wendell, threw away the return address. And I could not read the handwriting on the name.
All right. Well, if you're the nobody who actually took the time to make Paula a ruby sateen dress, please do us the honor of writing into Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone at gmail.com and making yourself known to us, because we'd like to thank you. It's beautiful. Have you put it on yet, Paula?
I have not yet.
Can I talk to Paula? Is there
Excuse
any...
me.
Okay.
Why would Paula wear my ruby sateen dress?
My understanding is that it's a full-size dress, Mrs. Culpepper, not suitable for...
No, a full-size dress for Mrs. Culpepper.
Oh, a hand puppet-sized
Paula could not
dress.
fit one thigh into that dress.
Oh, wow. All
Paula
right.
has a little problem.
A little problem,
A
Mrs.
little problem.
What are you saying? Are
Well, she is maybe nipped at the cheese more than she should have.
And we all know the dangers of nipping at the cheese,
She's
don't we?
escaped the tarotoxism, but not the fat.
I see. Wow, that's my friend Paula is getting it from all sides tonight. But you know what? That's our mailbag, everybody. You can send your stuff into nobody listens to Paula Poundstone at gmail.com. And this has been Mailbag. Mailbag. Okay, Paula, you'll be on the road in the coming weeks. Selling those Poundstone pussy pillows. Where are you going to be doing that?
You know, I hate promoting myself. It's one, I love my job. I have the best job in the entire world. But I just hate the part where I say, you know, come see me. I'm going to be at the blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that is really crass. Let's move on.
I'll be in San Francisco on New Year's Eve at the Sidney Goldstein Theater. That was formerly the Norse.
Yes, it was.
And I'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah on January 17th at the Grand Theater.
Fantastic. And it is grand, isn't it?
I'm hoping so.
Now, Paula will have Poundstone pussy pillows available for sale at those events, as well as the other 50 pounds of crap that she lugs around with her in her away luggage to sell at dates, like T-shirts.
It's not crap.
Like her dilithium T-shirts.
Not crap, Adam. It is not crap. This is why you and Mike are birds of a feather.
We're not. We'll be back right after this. According to climate scientists, we have 10 years and 8 weeks until the Earth begins to become uninhabitable.
We interrupt the podcast you're listening to tell you about another podcast. That's right, We Got This with Mark and Hal.
That's correct, Mark. This is Hal. We do the hard work for you, settling all of the meaningless arguments you have with your friends.
So tune in every week on the Maximum Fun Network for We Got This with Mark and Hal, and all your questions will be asked and answered.
You're welcome. All right, that's enough of that.
We got this.
I listen to Bullseye because Jesse always has really good questions.
What did John Malkovich wear when he was 20?
I don't know how to describe it.
There's always that moment where Jesse asks a question that the person he's interviewing has not thought of before.
I don't think anyone's ever said that to me or acknowledged that to me, and that is so real.
Bullseye. Interviews with creators you love and creators you need to know. From MaximumFun.org and NPR.
On this day in unremarkable history, Ludwig von Beethoven said, da-da-da-da! No, that's not it.
Welcome back, all you nobodies. Hey, Paula, I guess we're out of time this week. Usually you'd have a message for fans, but
I have a message.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I have a message for the fans. Adam, making Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, the comedy podcast, is just plain fun.
At times.
And I know our listeners enjoy it because just the other day at the ticket counter in the Denver airport, the agent said to me, "Your bag is a pound overweight. That'll be $70." But I know what she really meant.
What'd you mean?
She meant she really enjoys the show.
Okay.
The problem is that in order to keep making our podcast, we have to increase our listenership.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to do that is, of course,
advertising.
By each listener sharing with friends and loved ones that they are Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, the comedy podcast listeners.
Wouldn't have been my first choice.
For many people, that can be an awkward conversation.
Really?
So I have done my best to write some simple sample dialogue that can shell that nut.
Okay.
Try this.
You want me here for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much so. Try this. Listener's friend. My job is getting to me. Listener, I thought you loved teaching high school English. Listener's friend. I always have, but lately it's just getting to me. Am I getting older or are the freshmen getting younger? A kid just farted in the front row today. He didn't say a word about it, and no one acted like that's rude. Students didn't used to be like that. Jeez. Listener, well, there are a lot more vegetarians and vegans around than there used to be. People are used to gas. Listener's friend, the boys just smell. They smell without deodorant. They smell worse with it. I don't even write "see me" on their failed tests anymore. They're not very bright either. Listener, boy, this does not sound like you. Listener's friend, the smartest kid in the class just broke his leg because he accidentally put his hoodie on backwards while going down the stairs. Listener, what happened to my friend who wanted to give kids a sense of belonging and empathy through understanding literature? I know what's wrong. You're teaching Moby Dick right now, aren't you? Listener's friend. Yes. How did you know?
How long is this going to be?
Listener, you get like this every year around this time. Moby Dick is always hard. Listener's friend, I don't need that right now. I have heard so many high school dick jokes in the last few days. Moby Dick by Get Some Melville. Captain Ahab armed with a harpoon and a giant condom. Moby Dick, the women's version. Moby Hoo-Ha. Mickey Dick, the Disney version. Maybe Dick for those discovering themselves sexually. Moby Vay JJ, the sequel to the woman's version. I can't take it anymore. Listener, I have an idea. I've never known how to tell you this before because it just felt awkward. See, Adam?
You act like that's evidence.
But I listen to Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, the comedy podcast. It's just so funny. No matter how stressed out I get, the laughter I enjoy each week restores my good spirits. Listener's friend, that sounds wonderful. It's just what I need. I'm going to listen to Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, the comedy podcast, too. We're reading The Great Gatsby next, and half of them think Gatsby is a penis.
Took an even more unexpected turn at the end. Well, Paula, I am sure that if there's a listener out there whose best friend is a high school English teacher who's teaching Moby Dick and frustrated by the plethora of dick jokes associated with...
There is no high school English teacher teaching Moby Dick.
That's my point!
That is not frustrated. No, that is not frustrated.
No, there's no high school English teacher teaching Moby Dick anymore.
Yes, there is.
No.
Yes, there is.
No.
Allie had
No.
Allie had Moby Dick.
In high school?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's abusive.
Yeah.
That book is, that's a long book.
Yeah.
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 All right, well, I guess
It's
for
a
those...
big book.
I guess for those teachers who are in a frustration point because of all the dick jokes while they're teaching Moby Dick in high school,
Yeah.
if their friends happen to be a listener, this sample dialogue is a useful entree.
It's nuanced, Adam.
No.
It's nuanced.
Oh, it's not. No.
It doesn't have to be an exact fit, but you get
I
the
see.
idea.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great piece of simple sample dialogue, Paula, and I really appreciate the work that you do every week to expanding our listenership one listener at a time. That's so much more effective than advertising or going on other people's podcasts.
Adam, the phone's ringing. Answer the phone.
Do I have to?
Yeah, answer the phone, Adam.
Hello?
Hey, Adam, it's me, Mike Boom Boom Bonifant.
I'm actually happy to hear you, Mike.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I fucking loved Moby Dick.
What?
I loved it.
Why?
It's a story of a guy with a giant schlong. I loved it.
Wait, Mike, that's not at all
Yeah,
what
I
Moby...
bet you liked it too, Adam.
I liked parts of it.
That's what I love about you. We have so much in common.
We don't have anything in common,
We have
Mike.
so much. I don't know how you work with that girl. Who's
What
it?
girl?
What's it? Paula
Bonnie
Poundstone.
Burns?
Paula Poundstone.
Paula Poundstone?
No, Paula Poundstone. She's a bitch.
What, Mike? No, hey! Hey,
All right,
Mike,
all right.
hey!
I'll talk to you after the game.
No, you won't.
All right, see you. See you, Adam. See you.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I don't know about that guy. Nobody's. Remember, our address again is nobodylistensToPaulaPoundstone@gmail.com.
And you can find me and Adam on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can find my remarkably soft tri-polyblend t-shirts with the self-portrait on the left breast and memorable quote on the back at paulapoundstone.com.
All right, so lest the phone should ring again, that's our show for tonight. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. It's hosted by Paula Poundstone and yours truly, Adam Felber. Produced by Paula Poundstone, Adam Felber, Bonnie Burns, Ken Lezebnik, and Tony Anita Hull. Technical direction by Ray Horseman and mixing by Anthony Alfaro. Special thanks to tonight's house band Longo Chew. Third time is the charm. Thanks for being here, Longo. And thanks to our guest, Dr. David Goldstein, our linguist. Security muscle is provided by Tyler, the Studio City behemoth Burke. Transcription services for the show provided by Transcribe Me. For your special Paula Poundstone discount, use code Paula Poundstone when placing your order at transcribeme.com.
That's our show for tonight. Won't somebody please listen to me?
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned. Audience supported.